Spitting and all that shit.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Working Title Sports Show. You know what, man? Every day, D, I am thankful that we.
Every day is a roll of the dice.
It's a roll of the dice, but I am thankful for our friendship and the ability of. We started off like me and you talking, because we're Cowboys fans. We started off talking about the Cowboys games every Sunday. D would hit me up and be like, "Dog, you see this Cowboys game? Good or bad or whatever, right?"
Yep.
And then eventually we were like, why the hell did we not do a sports show? And then boom, we get Working Title Sports Show.
I
But
remember it was so weird, and that's kind of funny. We it's because of Dak Prescott we are here because
yes,
he's
2016
the
is when we started his rookie
yeah
year.
yeah him and Zeke running over people.
Yeah, but like it's funny because over the course of us doing this sports show, I'm thankful that you made the Working Title Sports Show, message group that we have, the group chat that we got.
Yeah,
Because me, you, and especially Patrick, we talked about and I think we talked about it briefly on the show initially until like the past 3 years when we finally started talking on it was the idea of like DraftKings and FanDuel and parlays, right?
yeah.
Especially with us having fantasy football and all that stuff. And I think we talked about it offline in the aspect of how it's a slippery slope because we always joke like, man, would be crazy if a player bet on himself for FanDuel and da 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 da, right? And then all of a sudden, fucking was it Porter from the Heat got caught up in that shit and he got basically kicked out the NBA for life.
No, that was Jonte Porter
Yeah, Jonte Porter.
From Raptors.
For the Raptors. We talked about it on the show when that happened.
He was barely
2 years into the league, and he
was barely in the league. And apparently, you bet on yourself. Now, we always talk about betting because we mentioned Pete Rose.
We play fantasy football, so technically that's betting in and of itself.
In a weird way, it is. Like we talked about Pete Rose because Pete Rose is a big part of baseball history. Yes, he's a Hall of Famer. He should be in the Hall of Fame. But you want to know the truth? F him. He cheated.
Yeah.
He cheated. And you bet on like you can't do that to me. Yeah. To me, that is ground zero. That's not like I have heard people try to justify betting in sports. Like if you're a player, if you're a coach, if you are behind the scenes, if you are taking part in that game in some type of way, the only person I clear is the ball boy, but I call bullish on that.
The ball boy got more
because he got inside baseball of what's going on with half the damn locker room.
So you can't trust nobody that's personnel on any team.
You
not
can't.
Even a janitor.
To me, that is ground zero. You can't mess with that. So it's just weird for people try to justify that. And one person said this ish. No, all right. Have you noticed these two arguments? Yeah. Number one, they setting Chauncey up. Look, why he gonna be a part of that? I love that argument. I love the argument. Like, so you just gonna believe that he was there?
Yeah.
He like a honeypot, man. He ugly, bro. You know somebody said that.
Yeah.
You know somebody said that. But I'm just saying. But my thing is, okay, I get that. And the other thing I get is not just he didn't do that on purpose. The other one I'm getting is that why would the mob pick him?
Like, look, let me tell you something, man.
It's not a special sport.
All it takes is and
hey,
I think
we at the Nebraska family. Yeah, notice your potential as a honeypot. You thinking, hey, Chauncey Billups, not too high, not too low. Hey, got a ring. We want you. Like, they don't do that. They don't shout like that.
But people forget, like, we joke about that infamous Michael Jordan video with him, the shades, talking about gambling, right? But I think Jordan and even Barkley said it best. It's like, I don't have a gambling problem. Gambling is just a hobby to me. Okay. And when you hear somebody say that, we laugh at it. But people, and I put my grandfather in that category because he was a numbers man. Like he would bet money on the Redskins / Commanders games. And sometimes he raked in money, sometimes he lost money. He'd be betting on the spread and all that shit, right?
That's what we call professional.
Professional gamblers, all right.
Okay, look.
He's a retired military. He threw his
Look,
money at shit. So it's like, all right, cool.
All right, I know I got a couple in my family. I ain't gonna point out who it is, but my thing is, look, okay. If y'all look, shut up, Chris. Shut the fuck up, Chris. If we can justify prostitution, then by gum, professional gamblers are a real thing. There are some people who I hate to say it. It's a messed up line of work, but sometimes that is your God-given ability. That is your autism at 1,000%. You know what I mean? That is your realm. You know what I mean? Is running numbers, seeing how the gambling is, actually betting on stuff. It's in your blood. Some people got it. I think in the case of Jordan, in case of athletes, it's competition.
Chasing a high.
Yeah, exactly. It's chasing a high for a lot of them that do gamble, because there's also two things. It's like people like, and I say this, and this is how I see it as a normie. There are people like Gilbert Arenas who I think that's a gambling problem / stop being poor. Stop being a broke nigga. Meaning that no. What I mean that is like some dudes who gamble got all this money and they just gambling for no reason. Like, stop being broke. That's what broke
love the game at this point.
That's for the love of the game. You couldn't do that, but now you can. Stop that. No. And then there's some dudes that just, hey, check this out, man. Who playing tonight? Who playing UFC? Who playing in UFC? All right. I got them. In third quarter though.
So it's like my thing
I don't know what to say, right?
My thing is like, and there's a guy that I graduated from high school with in my same class, where he said the thing about where gambling is at now is that as much as that we can sit there and say that, hey, it's, we have to put the blame on the gambler, we also have to put the blame on capitalism and how like a lot of these politicians, especially in Vegas, that could have easily put the screws to DraftKings and FanDuel, they embraced it for the sake of money, and now, boom, it's ingrained in Vegas culture, which ingrained itself into the NBA and all these sports stuff now.
And I think it could have been online. Because it was online, Chris. Mm-hmm. I think that's how it got. It just thrived.
And the pandemic sped it up even more.
And that's even worse. So at that point, it just linked on Vegas at that point. And Vegas kind of had no choice but to embrace what it is.
Yeah.
And doing so, you let more sharks in. You let more shark is like it feels like you fucked up the ecosystem of gambling to me. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a gambler. I can't say.
Yeah, just look. I told y'all, like, I tried DraftKings one time in its early infancy, because you remember DraftKings was always, hey, we'll give you $5 credit. You could try out DraftKings. I tried it and I peeped it then. It felt fixed. It felt rigged. I couldn't put my finger on it. It's just something felt off about it. In the sense of like, you think it's a sure thing, like, all right, if I put money on Tom Brady to throw over this, and then there was always these little contingencies of you can't necessarily pick Tom Brady for a draft. And it's like, well, what kind of bullshit is this? Like,
it draws you off. It's always something.
So
it's always something.
So like when you see it permeating in sports, and like I went to DC United game and I saw DC United versus Atlanta FC and sponsored by DraftKings. And I see all that shit around the fucking Mercedes, the Audi Stadium. It hit me like, oh my god, this shit is like ingrained in sports. Like, holy shit!
They let when the NBA, when the NFL let them in, the NBA let them in. That's what really linked everything, man.
Like seeing that F1 in NASCAR, I expect that, because damn near everybody and their mama is going to have that shit plastered on NASCAR. And
but F1. Here's the thing,
expect that, right?
But yeah, when we started seeing it in the NFL, sponsored by DraftKings,
and the players like LeBron, in commercials for it.
That's the wild
it's
part.
Like, ooh.
And see, when LeBron got into the commercials, I didn't think nothing of it. Look, I'll be real, because LeBron's everywhere, I didn't think nothing of it.
Yeah, you just figured, all right, whatever,
Until this whole thing came up. And I'm looking at every optic right now. It's like, LeBron, why is your face on that?
So let's start with one.
It's like just simple as that. No, and I will add one more thing though, Chris.
Yeah.
We always feared it. We always kind of had a fear that this was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember when the whole Donnelly thing happened, and the ref did that and all that. All my life, ever since I was a kid, we all heard, the game is rigged in some type of way.
Oh yeah, the Lakers Kings game.
Oh, the Lakers Kings game is a problem.
Everybody, it was like the smoking gun. Like, hold up. As a fan, you expect in the playoffs there are going to be some controversial calls, but the Lakers Kings game, it raised a red flag of like, hey man, even if you want to say that the Kings fucked up defensively against LA, something was up with them that last minute of just like foul. What the fuck? Like, hey man, something's up.
I feel that happens a lot of times. That's what I mean. I just feel that shit happens all the time. There are some things like, we just question, like, oh man, the refs did this, refs did that.
Ref ball is a thing. It's a thing.
Then there's the deceptive shit, the real deceptive shit that I always tell people. It's not so much when the ref blows a whistle or not blows it or not do nothing with the call. It's when the ref holds the ball too long. It's when the ref takes time to pick out to pick with one particular player to throw them off their game for the rest of the game. There's just little shit that we don't know. And then what we got with Rozier is the shit that I feared the most, which was, what if somebody was in on it and just did something of, hey coach, my knee, man, it still bother you? Man, I gotta sit. But like, you guys said, man, I can't get up.
But
you know what I'm saying? And he can get away with it.
But what blows my mind about the Terry Rozier shit, it's to what Charles Barkley said. We can sit there and say, oh, gambling addiction, but Charles was like, no, this is stupid. Because
thank you.
You can't sit here and make $26 million and we said, was it 26? Whatever, it's a high amount of money.
Whatever,
make,
20.
Right?
Let's just go over 20 million.
It's 26 million. You make 26 million as an NBA player, right?
Yeah.
Unless you are doing something with regards to the parlay where you're making more than what you're making on the 26 million, you're only making $50,000. Is it worth killing your career for $50,000?
That's what all this is. Jonte Porter doing it is hilarious because, hey, he was barely in the league. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, wow.
But in this case, it's like, no, you are a millionaire, even if
after taxes, you're still a millionaire.
My question is this: when it comes to Bama's like you, what game was it? Yeah. What game did you say?
I have the games.
No, not that shit. What game did you say? 10 million Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl. Is that what you did? Because that's the only thing that makes sense of shit like this, man. Like, what gambling did you do? And 2 days later, Big Pussy said, "Hey, how you doing? I'm from Jersey. I want to talk to you for a second." No. I'm not going to touch you. Not going to put no hands on you. But I like to say, Mr. Cipriani loves you as a basketball player. He loves everything. Hey, and the only thing you told me, say, it'll be a shame if you wake up, you're not feeling too good one day. That's all. I don't know. Look, you didn't see me. I didn't see you. Have a good day. Let's go Mets. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So basically, the FBI is channeling these 7 games. I'm going to list it out. And some of them you probably seen. So it starts February 9th, 2023. Lakers versus the Bucks. March 23rd, 2023. Hornets, Pelicans. March 24th. Trailblazers, Bulls. April 6th. Magic, Cavaliers. Going into 2024. Lakers, Thunder. January 15th. January 26th. Raptors, Clippers. And finally, March 20th, 2024, Raptors Kings. Those 7 games in particular. Now, if I were to go back and look at the stat lines for it, I'm pretty sure it supported whatever he was placing his bets on for himself with that information. For sure.
And that's the wild part. That's just the wild part, yeah.
And this goes into, so they said the March 23rd game, Rozier himself exited the game against the Pelicans after 9 minutes and 34 seconds, during which he scored 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He allegedly shared with people close to him that he planned to leave the game early. That was his final game of action in the 2023-2024 seasons. Members of the group being investigated allegedly placed more than $200,000 in bets on Rozier's underline across multiple prop bets.
Wow.
That's what got him. $200,000 right there. And you got to figure $200,000 on top of whatever the line bet was.
To blacklist yourself from the NBA.
Like that raises more alarms. Like, hold on. Why are they putting this much money on Terry Rozier, nigga? Like, all right, man, we're gonna have to investigate this shit.
And that guy that plays for the Hornets, actually he plays for the Bulls now. I heard he plays for the Heat. What he plays for?
So you have that and the fact that Rozier also got in bed with Damon Jones.
So here's my thing. So you just telling me that NBA journeymen are just talking to each other. Hey, bruh. Hey, the Bambinos, they good people.
So Damon Jones is, I think, 12-year NBA veteran, played for the Heat and Cavs, and he also ended up becoming an assistant coach for the Cavaliers for 3 seasons. Mm-hmm. What happened with him was, because he's in that realm of assistant coach, he is privy to a lot of information, including players being injured, who's going to be playing in the game, who's going to be part of the starting lineup, all that insider information. And because Damon Jones has gambling debts, that led to him also giving insider information for said prop bets to being used, and you know where this is going.
This man told his people, hey, LeBron ain't playing tonight.
You know what that means.
And it shifted whatever shift happened. The FBI said, hey, wait a minute.
Now, initially, this is the reason why we're doing it on Monday. Now, Thursday, Friday, it was coming out when Damon Jones, because the time that he was doing it, it was during that season that LeBron was with the Cavs. Everybody was assuming that, man, LeBron must have known. But then after the weekend was over, it came out LeBron was not even fucking aware that this shit was happening at all. Which that makes sense, because why the fuck, like, LeBron just never came off as somebody that would do something like this. So it makes sense that obviously he wasn't aware of it.
I think here's the thing. The only reason why you can believe LeBron is because number one, because of 2 things. Number one, he's not going to risk his image to be wrapped up in something like this. And number 2, if he is betting on some shit, it ain't under his name. Anyway,
Rusty Shackelford.
He got exactly. There's a PO box in rural Ohio.
Well, man, it's like
we don't know.
It's like
LeBron making bets on. That's all.
KD was like trolling under a different name on Twitter at one point, right? Like
exactly.
Yeah, so it's like
you don't think people can find other ways of doing that shit, man? If it wasn't for Michael Vick's cousin, we would have never known it was him. Ron Mexico, thank you.
Yeah, so it's like, so you got that. But then on top of that, because obviously with Rozier and Damon Jones, it opens the floodgates of probably other players coming out. Chauncey Billups situation. Now, Chauncey Billups situation is different. Now, earlier this year, Gilbert Arenas, he had loaned his house out to somebody for them to have pretty much an illegal poker game going on in his house. Gilbert got out on bail because he was like, they just used my house. I wasn't there. He got out on bail. And, Gilbert trolls, and they were like, oh, Gilbert snitched out. But he was like, look, I'm trolling folks, but I'm not going to snitch. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, maybe he did. I don't know. Who knows?
If he did, it wasn't nothing like damning or anything like that or anything crazy.
It was just like, yo, I didn't do anything. The fuck? So, Chauncey Billups, and I'm guaranteeing you he has gambling debts, much like a lot of folks are. That's just what it is. He was holding illegal poker games that were fixed. And because he was the face of poker games, it was a way to lure in people to said poker games. Now, D said it earlier, like he was basically the honeypot. And you kind of laugh like Chauncey Billups getting everybody. All right. I mean, Chauncey Billups does look like a very reliable guy, you know. I get it.
I'm just saying, what situation were you in where no, I'm just saying, what situation were you in and your boy, y'all smoking cigars? Hey, there he is. Hey, Chauncey Billups? Hey, what you doing? Hey, fellas, how y'all doing? Hey, y'all trying to gamble tonight? I know a little spot.
Yeah.
That was him.
The Five Families. And folks, it's everything that you think of a fixed card game. X-ray machines.
Think about it. The God Pigeon says, it's a real honor to see you, Mr. Billups. He was actually a big fan of the Pistons, even though he bet for the Lakers that year. He said Kobe really fucked up that year.
Now, here's the thing. He helped in organizing these games, but he also worked to actually collect the debts from these poker games. Wait. Chauncey was taking cuts of the proceedings and also hunting down motherfuckers who owed debts to the Five Families. Dead ass.
Wait a minute. Wait.
I'm going to my car. Get my other gun. Shoot everybody's ass.
Oh man, Chauncey gonna do this shit. You better do it. You better give me the money, nigga.
Just imagine Chauncey hanging somebody off the Brooklyn Bridge like Nino Brown to get a New Jack City.
They did not say. Who said this? What report is this saying this shit?
No, this is CBS Sports. They're saying like, okay. This said now this is verbatim. The mafia had pre-existing controls over non-rigged illegal poker games around New York City, according to U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, Joseph Nacella. As a result, they also became involved in rigged poker games, helping to organize the games and taking cut to proceedings. My bad, it ain't Chauncey, but still, like and working to enforce the collection of debts. Billups, on top of that, also is tied into the sharing of insider information because he's the coach of the Portland Trail Blazers. So it's like not even just the poker games, it's also insider information in regarding to said sports betting shit. And then on top of that, he's wearing this shirt that's tied into like LeBron James and them. And somebody was saying that's like Billups wearing that shirt to really warn folks like, hey, y'all need to help me or else I'm gonna snitch. And I'm like, I don't know how true that is, but like in the situation like this with how serious this is, somebody gonna snitch. Somebody is snitching. It is a mess.
Are you fucking serious? Hey, Mr. Lozano, I'm sorry. Look, man, I ain't got the money. You can have my NBA ring. You can do.
Oh, you know there was plenty of that.
Yeah, man, you can take my ring, man. What you want? You want me? Look, I get other motherfucker. I can tell you if motherfuckers are hurt.
Good.
Here's the damning sentence.
You know that's exactly what happened.
Though he was not named in the Rosier indictment, a person referred to as co-conspirator 8 matches Billups' description. A resident of Oregon and an NBA player from approximately 1997 through 2014 and an NBA coach since at least 2021, the indictment alleges that co-conspirator 8 supplied information about the Blazers resting key players ahead of the March 24th, 2023 contest against the Bulls before it was public. Damian Lillard, Nurkic, Jeremy Grant, and Anthony Simmons all set out in the game that the Blazers lost by 28 points. Woo!
Y'all going to jail.
Oh, yes. And
y'all are going
Adam,
to
It's not
jail.
enough that Adam Silver.
All of them are going to jail.
It's not enough that Adam Silver got to deal with the WNBA shit, like we talked about last episode, right? You already got to deal with that shit. And now this shit gets dropped on your fucking plate after you got a big celebration of the NBA on NBC is back, high ratings from the overtime with the Thunder versus the fucking Houston Rockets, phenomenal and stuff. Lakers versus the fucking Golden State Warriors, phenomenal. And then boom, night 2, this shit gets lit. Day 2 of the NBA coming back, this gets laid at your fucking feet.
2.
Bro.
Son of a whore!
And here's the kicker. You got players in the WNBA already saying, hey, we didn't fucking damn do have anything to do with any illegal gambling. None of that shit. And I'm like, yeah.
Sis. First off, nobody asked y'all. But you mean to tell me how raggedy that whole league is? You gonna tell me as raggedy as the WNBA is? Nope. Chris, nobody was betting. There was no illegal betting going on.
Hey, I ain't trying to.
You mean to tell me in the same league where a girl has to literally get DDT'd onto the floor to get a fucking foul? You mean to tell me there ain't no illegal backdoor betting going on in this league?
Hey, D, you mean to tell me Angel Reese didn't put a bet on herself on FanDuel? Not saying she did, but you know.
You already know. You mean to say 4 or 5 of these little girls? 4 or 5 of these little girls.
Hey.
And I said I'm only saying that because of age at this point. I'm talking like an under at this point.
We
4 or 5 of them little girls have shown up, sat down.
I will say this.
And you know the Bambino family was like, hey, seems that Angel ain't playing today.
I will say this. I joke around. People sit there and say,
oh, girl above me. You mean to tell me with Las Vegas on her chest, you mean to tell me no one knocked on her door?
I have said this for years. I've said this. You know, people talk about men when they cheat, they're messy. I say, okay, here's the thing. Men and women cheat. The difference is that women are quiet about that shit.
What was that little clip of the old black woman?
Yeah. It's like, no, women are quiet about cheating. They'll let you know if they're cheating if you fucked up royally, right? So I guarantee you, some of the women in WNBA were actually smart about betting on themselves. It's just they're not going to they ain't going to blow up the spot. That's the difference.
Man, at this point, they probably ain't, because a few of y'all got more money than y'all should. That's DB and funny because I know half y'all broke. But
podcast to supplement income, so you know.
Hey, look, D know how it is. I ain't hating on y'all. But I'm saying, you mean to tell me ain't none, all y'all just good with y'all scruples? Half of y'all league is Nigerian. So I already know for a fact.
Now here's my thing. I joked about, like, somebody was like, all right, past Rosier, who would you sit there and say is an NBA player that actually is doing that? And I said it straight up. I was like, what if it came out that Russell Westbrook did it? I'd be like, I wouldn't be surprised. All them fucking triple doubles and shit. And because and that's just me conspiracy theory. I ain't saying it's serious, but that's the conspiracy theory in my head.
Now, if there's a serious thing, and here's the thing. I've been seeing different names pop up for different reasons, and they may not be connected. I saw D'Angelo Russell's name. I saw Antonio Gates' name.
Woo!
Yeah, I know. I have seen so many names, but here's the thing. I don't know how much to verify them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even if when I do see ESPN.com on it, I still, not that I say I don't believe it. It's just that I need all this to be settled, man. Because, you know, it's like all news cycles, it's hard to know what to believe when something big like this drops and what's still the nuggets of truth afterwards, man. And that's the real messed up part about all this. That we still know there's more names going to be coming out.
You said over 30 names so far.
And if there's anybody, I'm guessing more certain it's not going to be nobody big. But I think the highest.
Oh, actually, I got the names. Okay, so all right, here it is. Members of the cheating teams include defendants Nelson Alvarez, Luis Apicella, Chauncey Billups, Eric Ernest, Marco Gozon, Jamie Gillette, Tony Goodson, Kenny Hahn, Horatio Hu, Damon Jones, John Mazzola, Nicholas Minutia, Michael Renzulli, sounds like mafia families, Angelo Ruggiero Jr., Stroud, Trustman, and Sophia Way.
All those motherfuckers, all of them were in. And like I said, we still don't know the other crap.
And it's a mix of the poker. It's basically a mix of the people that were doing the inside betting plus the poker game. So they're kind of combining all of that and stuff. And granted, on top of that, I think in this current climate, people are kind of like giving a side eye to Cash Patel and shit because it's like,
yeah,
it's understandable.
Well, here's the thing:
he kind of fucked himself up on their being legitimate too. So it's like,
I will admit, there's a lot of what I like to call can-do flash. Like there's a lot of it's really flashy. It's really saying, yeah, look at these evidence. Look
we
what
did
we're
it.
doing. Yeah, it's a lot of that.
Mhm.
Meaning two things. This was already about to close way before Cash even showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Or two, nigga, we're not done yet. You know, so
okay, somebody finally broke down the timeline. So it started, goddamn, April 9th, 2019 is when it started. Federal employee authorities alleged that rigged poker games backed by Bonanno, Gambino, and other organized crime families of the La Costa Nostra began in 2019. One specific game involved Billups on this date allegedly defrauded victims out of $50,000. The scheme featured a shuffling machine that had been secretly altered to use concealed technology to read the cards in the deck and predict which player at the table had the best poker hand and relay that information to an off-site operator. October 2020. Bank records show co-defendant Robert Stroud wired $50,000 to co-defendant Sophia Way, who then wired $50,000 to Billups. December 2022, investigators alleged that this
just
is when
50.
Yeah, just 50.
Just 50.
Yeah, just 50. December 2022, investigators alleged that this is when the gambling scheme involving non-public game status information began. When co-defendants accused of using access to private information known by NBA players or coaches was likely to affect the outcome of NBA games or individual performances. They provided other co-conspirators with non-public information in exchange for either a flat fee or shared expected wagering profits for the purpose of betting. February 9th, 2023, the morning before a game between the Lakers and Milwaukee Bucks, Jones provided non-public injury information about players such as LeBron James, and sent a text alerting co-conspirators that James would not be playing, even though James had not been ruled out on the official injury report. So for those that don't know, usually you don't know until the afternoon of that day of the game when it's official. It's like that with the NFL. Like if they're playing on Sunday, usually Friday evening or Saturday morning, you get the update on whether that player is going to play on Sunday or not and such. That's usually how it goes. So the fact that he knew that morning.
Yeah, NBA, it's usually right in the beginning of the afternoon. They have to get
sometimes an hour before the game.
I think it's like noon time. They let you know, but you know, of course, it's game time decisions and stuff like that.
Yeah. So yeah. So March 23rd, 2023, the Dykeman alleges that Rozier, then playing for the Hornets, informed De Niro Laster that Rozier was going to prematurely remove himself from the game against the Pelicans in the first quarter. Laster then allegedly sold this information to multiple people, including Marvis Fairley. Fairley and an unnamed co-conspirator agreed to pay Laster $100,000 from their expected gambling winnings. Fairley also sold the information to co-defendant Shane Hims, who dispersed it to a network of associates in order to place wagers on prop bets for Rozier's under in the game. Prior to the start of the March 23rd game, authorities allege Hennon and other conspirators placed more than this is official number, $260,000 in bets on Rozier's under. Rozier in that game removed himself from the game in the first quarter after playing less than 10 minutes. So that was the game where he was like, oh shit, my leg, and he left the game. Which
if you didn't know all this, you probably would have looked at it as he probably did get injured. He tweaked something.
That don't make no sense.
$260,000.
It's the wiring of the money that's killing me.
Bro, they just wired $50,000 like it was nothing. That's yeah. And then March 24th, 2023, prior to the game of the Blazers Bulls, Billups allegedly told Eric Ernest the Trailblazers were tanking and several of their players would not be playing. Ernest provided the information to Fairley, who promised to pay $5,000 if the bets against the Trailblazers were successful.
Oh.
Fairley and Hennon then placed more than $100,000 in wagers that Portland would lose the game. Like I said earlier, the Blazers didn't play the leads fair.
My thing is this: why did you play so much money on that?
That aroused a suspicion right there. $100,000
on a regular ass, busted ass Portland team.
That's a West Coast game starting at 10 p.m.
Why did you pick?
And again, because
that just seems like too much money for a regular season game, nigga.
And especially in the game that all four of the starters were out, because again,
and nobody going to the playoffs in this shit. Why is there so much money getting? So, to me, that's telling on yourself, man.
March 28th, 2023, Fairley traveled to Philadelphia to collect his cut of the winnings from the March 23rd game involving Rozier. Laster traveled to Philadelphia on the same day to collect his portion of the winnings from Fairley. Rozier arranged and paid for Laster's travel, which, holy shit, you paid for that mother? Okay.
Hey, look, we ain't in it, man. They ain't none of our business. They ain't none of our business.
Fairley gave Laster tens of thousands of dollars in cash as payment for the information Laster provided regarding Rozier's plans to leave the game on the 23rd. Then on March 30th, Laster drove to Philadelphia to Rozier's home in Charlotte, North Carolina, and counted the money that he got from the March 23rd game at Rozier's home.
So wait. So was Rozier a part of this? Or was it, hey, man, look, hey, just go count it at your house. Why? Because I can fucking do it. NBA player, money, I felt like doing something good.
Now,
go say hi to your mom. She makes a good
now this is where it gets interesting. Now, apparently there was a Magic player. They haven't said who it was, but in the game on April 6, 2023,
Cole Anthony.
The Magic versus the Cavaliers, one of the Magic's starting players told a co-conspirator that Orlando would be sitting its entire starting lineup. This public information made Fairley place $11,000 bet that the Cavs would cover the spread. The spread was basically the Magic were favored by 9.5 points over Cleveland. Magic didn't play their starters. Cleveland won that game by 24 points. So that red flags right there already.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he got lucky. Wait,
now,
that's the same guy from last time? Yeah, get him.
Now, you're going to laugh at this one. September 2023, September 7th. 5 co-defendants successfully robbed an altered shuffling machine. Jones then asked co-defendant Robert Stroud, who was part of the robbery, for a $10,000 advance in connection with the rigged game. Stroud sent $2,500 to Jones via Zelle.
Wait a minute, how much?
$2,500, $2,500.
Okay. I thought it was more than that. I was like, wait a minute, you threw more than it. I thought it was 20. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Now, 3 days later, Tony Goodston was coaching Jones on how to cheat in the rigged poker games. So this is the poker game on top of all this stuff. So again, all these, the rigged poker games and the fucking rigged NBA games are basically just joined up at this point. It's all tied into each other instead of being separate. January 15th, 2024. Before the game between the Lakers and the Thunder, Jones allegedly gave injury information to Ernest in relation to Anthony Davis not playing in the game. Jones claimed to learn from the trainer that James and Davis
was injured and was only going to play a limited number of minutes. Now I remember that game because that's when Anthony Davis was. I think he had like a knee injury or something like that at the time.
His whole body was falling apart. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Man?
So Fairley bet $100,000 against the Lakers, and Jones was paid $2,500 for the information. Davis, that game was listed as probable, but ultimately played, and the Lakers won 112-105, finished with 27 points and 15 rebounds. After the game, Fairley requested that Jones repay the $2,500, but Jones reiterated that he provided credible information. So basically, the dude was pissed off because it's like, you told me you weren't going to play, and Anthony Davis played. So
trying to make a fuck out of me? Huh? Is that what you're trying to do? You trying to make a fuck out of me or something?
So
I feel like that was said.
January 23rd, Rozier was traded to the Miami Heat by the Hornets. The Heat at this point didn't know Rozier was doing any of this shit. Had no clue that he was doing all that betting, which means that Charlotte probably didn't know either. Most likely, they probably didn't.
Probably didn't.
Okay, January 26th.
Just gonna assume that.
Prior to the Raptors-Clippers game, then forward Jonte Porter agreed with Long Fee Pham and others to exit the game prematurely due to an injury in order for others to place bet on Porter's unders for the game. Pham provided information to Hennon, who then alerted Fairley and other associates to place bets on Porter's under for the game, which probably led to why Porter got booted out the NBA, basically because of this shit. Which, funny enough, 3 months later, April 7th, 2024, NBA banned Porter for disclosing information to sports bettors and betting on games.
Habibi firebombing got a missile tuck. If them robbers come through, then I guarantee they give it up. Lifestyle huge, this basic bitch, she in the little.
And then Porter plead guilty to wire fraud conspiracy. Got sentenced to hearing. Actually, he gets sentenced in December, and he faces a prison sentence of 20 years. 2 years in the NBA just to get 20 years in jail. That is fucking insane.
That is crazy.
Way to fuck up your whole life.
I mean, look, man. All of this is nuts. All of this shit is still nuts.
I mean, is it? How nuts are we talking here?
I feel like because some of this shit feels like a plot of a mid-grade. Look, this feels like a plot of a movie that is going to go trying to get all the Oscars, but everybody know it ain't good enough to win it, but it gets nominated for a bunch of them, but you know it ain't going to win that.
Here's the kick about this.
Because like this, instead of it being like a 10, it's like a solid 7.
Like, here's the kicker about
this. This is what it sounds like. It sounds like a plot out of one of them movies, bro.
Before I continue, though, it's funny because a couple of years ago, me and you, we did an episode on Blue Chips, and we were talking about how, like, obviously with the NIL deals and stuff, the game has changed in terms of college kids getting their money in colleges. But in Blue Chips, there was this thing about how, like, college players were feeling some way they weren't getting money, so they were doing things like throwing games and doing all these things, right? And it's kind of crazy. Like, we watch that movie and we see how much that really was like a driving force of investigations happening and beat reporters reporting on it. And now here we are now, and it's like, wow, we're really living the plot of Blue Chips right now. Holy shit. Like, it's crazy.
Weird because, I can understand anybody that will say the little thing that athletes get paid too much, but that's how much they're worth. That's how much their bodies are worth. You know what I mean? And it is tough sometimes that players like kids, they don't get done to want to. They had to make money because they want nothing. There's nothing guaranteed in not doing any of this. No extra money in doing all this, especially back then.
Yeah.
So to get where we at now, a lot of people were mad. There were going to be a lot of people mad that, oh, Dad, we're giving more power to the players. That's one thing that we don't want to do because, God, how can I frame this? How can I really frame this? It makes me feel that to fix anything, you have to really fix what's going on with the players, make their whole ecosystem better, wherever it may be. But instead of doing that, you'll try to make your money doing this and doing that. I'm not framing none of this right. I was trying to make it connected. It didn't work in my head as I was talking. But it's just that there's so much money to be made in betting. And when the NFL decided to put their logos on it, you legalized it. There's been this push to get casinos, and it matters what part of the country you live at. But by the time we were getting out of high school, Chris, in the 2000s, that's when there was a lot of talk for the MGM to come out over here. And it was like that in many different places where gambling was like, hey, it's always been legal. Can we throw up a casino? And 9 times out of 10, if it gets the funding, it's going to go through.
Yeah, what was the casino over at Arundel Mills when that came up, right?
Maryland Live.
Yeah, Maryland Live. When that came up, I think it put a lot of shit in overdrive in terms of, especially when you look at the local side in this area with gambling, it really was like, oh shit, you could place bets on the Ravens and the Commanders games and the Nationals and the Orioles and the soccer games and all.
That was a real big selling point to Horseshoe up in Baltimore.
Oh yeah,
that was a real big seller for that. And now that you made it, like I said, I can only imagine in a state where you don't have a casino, how much that's probably enforced. FanDuel, DraftKings, I can only imagine how much more is enforced out there. Shit, BetMGM is a big thing now, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
Caesar Sportsbook is a big one now. Like we don't need to go down the list. Yeah. But there's so much place and then these teams put their name on it. Then Caesar put their name on a fucking stadium. You see what I'm saying? All this shit is crazy. And we're just now coming to the point where now the whole system is starting to break up. Everything is you're starting to see all the holes that were in there. You see some players forced themselves into a hole because they got gambling debts themselves. Y'all didn't prepare for the one player that is into it with the freaking Lacostra notion.
And I think
find a way into the NBA.
And that's why I feel like the documentaries that are going to come out of this is going to be interesting depending on how it gets framed. It's going to be dependent because Netflix is going to do a documentary on this.
You're right.
It might be an ESPN 30 for 30 on this shit for sure.
ESPN, that was funny. What? As they were saying this on ESPN, as Grindy was up there saying what was happening as they were arresting Chauncey Billups for betting, the ESPN bet logo slowly disappeared. That day straight up Homer Simpson, and by what I hear, has not come back.
Oh hell
I don't
no.
know if I don't know how true that is.
Terrible look, because the day it happened, all of us were joking on like, it's fucked up that we're watching this as Stephen A is talking about this, and it's like sponsored by DraftKings right there at the bottom before it just left the screen immediately. Because it was just like,
not now, damn it.
Yeah, it's like, really, dog? Like, y'all still putting the DraftKings shit up in here? Maybe this is not a good look right now. Nah, you can't do that. Like, what
I think, and that's what I'm talking about, man. Everybody y'all done got in bed with these motherfuckers, man.
And there ain't no, I ain't gonna say there's no turning back, but there ain't no turning back because, okay, so now we're in 2025. January 30th, 2025. The Wall Street Journal reported that Rosier was still under investigation. I remember we did talk about this on Working Title Sports Show. Basically, what happened was there was an unusual bet line between Charlotte and New Orleans. And I remember it specifically. Basically, the NBA, they did an investigation on it to the point that Rosier even said they took his phone. They went through the process of just looking through it all the way top to bottom, and they found nothing on it. So they were just like, well, I guess he wasn't doing as much betting as we thought he did. So, all right, whatever. We didn't find anything. And I remember then it was like, yeah, they didn't find anything, but they got eyeballs on you right now, right?
Exactly.
Rosier?
And I mean, we were saying that too. Like they're looking at you because we all saw the game, and we was all. And I remember when I passed everybody the clip, they was like, "That might be cheating." They're like, "That looks."
We can't prove
cheating.
it, but
the best response was Rashad McCants. He was like this. I know how that play look, fella. It don't look like that, young fella. I know where you're supposed to be at. And you ain't in that position. I'm like, you saw. Then look, if I was beside Rashad, you saw that shit too? He ain't supposed to be over there. Why the fuck are you over there? Yo, that tells you something like something.
I think everybody
you all for the play. You didn't know where anybody was at. That happens in NBA games. Even to good players, it's like, oh shit, I'm on the wrong side of the court. Yeah. That happens. But you were over there too long.
So here we are.
No man don't know what setting. Like, come on, somewhere. Yeah.
So here we are, 10 months later, present day. Billups, Jones, and Rozier are arrested alongside the other co-conspirators from the 5 families. And just, I mean, look, at this point,
You blew it! You had it all and you blew it!
That feels like the best thing to say.
I think it's to the point where everybody is just kind of like, who else is what other names are going to come up once the ball starts rolling on investigations?
We can only imagine. That's the thing that kills me. We can only imagine who's going to show up on this shit.
Because everybody's thinking there's going to be some big names like LeBron, but I'm like, LeBron's probably fine. Like,
I think if anything, we are going to see some messed up names on there where we just, because here's the thing, and I always say, anytime you heard me and Eris talk, and I'll say like, oh, this person, Eris go, no, not that person. That'll never happen. I think that's the first person you need to think about. Who's the people that you're like, no, you know what I mean? But I'm not and I hope nobody's in the business of trying to figure out who's a person been lacking on the fucking court and shit like that. Now, would it surprise me if, and I'm just throwing this name out, not saying it's them. Mm-hmm. Now, if you tell me it came out that Luka Doncic was behind, it's like, are you fucking kidding me? I don't think it will be on that
Joker.
Ah, man, that will like what? Nikola, what? But I want to think
quiet man.
I wouldn't think it'll be nothing like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I wouldn't think it'll be a Tyrese Halliburton. I don't think it will be Shaq. I think it will be a Brian Ingram. You see what I'm saying?
But here's the thing,
like this is not accusing. Like if you told me the last 2 years of Bradley Beal's career in DC, he was working with the mob, I would believe every second of that.
I mean, look,
there are certain and that's what I'm saying. There are some players that you just like, how they
even briefly
here. You're like,
I mean, look,
1 year, yeah. What else did you do that year, nigga?
I mean, and the thing of it is, like, they talked to Spoelstra, and he was just like, I mean, I've rotated Rozier in the lineup, but I just was not expecting him to do this, like, because he's genuinely like, holy shit, like, I honest to God didn't fucking know, like, this is crazy.
And that'll get you. Like, if we found out that Rui Hachimura did this, we'd be like, huh?
I mean, look, you saw the shit.
Whoa. What was the prop bet? What did he do wrong? You know what I mean?
Hey Hachi, was the Yakuza on your nuts? What happened here?
Oh, that'd be the first thing. Like, y'all racist. No, but it was Bambino family. If anybody want to know, the Bambino family, them in particular, they really wanted to kill me.
It wasn't the Yakuza. Shockingly enough, it wasn't.
Shit, I wish it was the Yakuza. They were nice about it.
We already talked about it.
That's not funny. No.
Hey, we already talked about Ohtani. We already talked about that shit with Ohtani and that stuff.
All right. There's a story of Fedor Emelianenko. When Fedor was on Pride at the time, but he really wanted to do this show for Antonio Inoki. Antonio Inoki did every year, right? So they went behind Pride's back and got Fedor there, right? So what the Yakuza do? Who ran Pride? What did they do? They went over to Fedor's Fedor's manager's house, beat this nigga, pistol whipped the shit out this nigga, and told him that you're gonna sign over there. So after days of back and forth, the Inoki people were there, the Pride people were there, and they were going to oversee this person getting signed, and there would be no guns drawn.
Yeah,
guns were immediately drawn.
Of course it was. Like, why wouldn't it be guns
gangsters
drawn? Like,
became gangsters? Yeah. So yes. When the mob gets involved, it's a very serious thing. And speaking of the mob, that's what I would suggest to anybody. I would say if you want to watch it in any type of form, my boy Napoleon, the joke I just did was from my boy Napoleon Blown Apart. Watch that whole series on Pride. It is very good. Yeah. But Pride's downfall was because of the mob. And when the mob gets involved in any type of sporting event, well, I swear to God, it ain't just betting that gets in there. It's where their money getting tunneled into. Now, yeah, that's the difference between Japan and America. In Pride, they actually ran the shit. You know what I mean? They had their money. They invested tons of money into this shit. And, they was trying to see the outcomes of all that shit. And these were fucking spectacles back in the day, For the 2000s. The fucking seating arrangement for these fucking Pride events is nasty, nigga.
Now,
but
here's the kicker.
Even then, in America, there's not a lot of ovaries because they can't control the organization. That's the one thing I will give the NFL, NBA, all that. The mob can't control y'all. But you know what they can control? One thing we have not talked about, and I think that's going to be the biggest brick to fall, Chris. They can control the referees.
Yeah, we are. I mean,
the refs. We haven't heard none of them yet, and I think they're about to be next.
Now, here's the thing. Jaylen Brown, he's the VP of the NBA Players Association, right? And he made a good point. He basically, I'm paraphrasing it, he felt like when the world of sports gambling started becoming a part of sports, the NBA and even the NFL and all that stuff, they never took into consideration the players with respect to the behavior around gambling and just the energy and just how that correlates to the player.
Exactly.
They just went, and basically he said they just did it in terms of how can this increase our business or revenue? And it's like, hey, but how is this going to affect the players? Because players gamble, right? Exactly. Are you doing anything to protect the players so that this doesn't happen?
Exactly.
And that's the problem. It's like I said, it's capitalism. You're not factoring in, you're just so concerned with revenue that you're not factoring in the behavior of people.
Capitalism has a weird thing. It has this thing of not looking at where its shit splats out at. It doesn't care. It doesn't care. It doesn't care the toxic waste it makes in the outcome of all that shit. And that's the big thing. To hear Charles Barkley, and I read Charles Barkley's book. He was a gambler.
Oh, yeah.
He was a gambler.
We know this.
But
vividly, and he admitted it.
But he wasn't weak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There are weak gamblers. And weak gamblers, yeah. I mean, and yeah, every gambler can get into that thing where they owe people money and shit. That can happen to any gambler. But weak gamblers have a real thing about them of how stupid and desperate they get.
Yep. And
even with these hardened NBA players, you mean to tell me a fucking plot line in a Ray Donovan episode ain't happening with one of them? They're over there like, wait a minute, that's the fucking guy. You can see Ray Donovan walk over there. What's going on? That's the fucking guy on the fucking Lakers. Man, kicking my ass, man. How much you fucking own? 3,300. Fucking what? You know what I mean? We be shocked about this shit. We be shocked about how much money, because if we can believe that MC Hammer gave his whole community half of his check, then you best believe that you can see somebody giving half their check to the mob for no damn reason. Why? Because I was winning bets that day, and I really, truly thought the Chiefs are going to win this year in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. I thought they had it. Jalen Hurts finally showed up.
Yeah, 10. Yeah. It's just
that's how it is, bro.
But it really speaks to just like the nature of where we're at as a society when it came to gambling. Because you think about how we grew up, like we said earlier, we had family members that did the sports betting on the point spread, because I was even telling I was telling a lot of young folks this and stuff about like, because some of them I was on Blue Sky and I was talking about it, and it was like, I told them about the fact that like if you cracked open the sports section of the Washington Post, they have the list of like the teams in the NFL. I just use that as an example, and it would have the actual like over and under on it.
Yeah,
and that's really, that was low key a way for people that was putting bets on to kind of like help them in terms of who they wanted to put money on and stuff.
The most, and I will say this, the most that you would hear back in the day, and I'm going as far as 2000s.
Yeah.
The most you would hear, and let's just stick to when they were still WJFK, but now like 106.7 The Fan, the most you hear at the end of the day is like, hey, you want to get into live sports betting, like you want to do live sports betting, call 1-800-253-BET, and you can, and that was like the only way you can do it back then.
Yeah, they call a hotline.
Yeah, call a hotline, or there were sites online, but the sites online varied from really, really good to really, really shitty. You know what I mean? It was always there, but it was never there as an advertisement. So here's the thing, and I really mean this. If we're not going to advertise cigarettes, I'm fine with that. We need to stop advertising liquor, but that's a whole other story that a lot of you drunks don't want to hear right now. But if we can ban that shit, you don't show sports betting during a sports event. That's all I'm saying. During a sports event, don't show this shit.
Okay.
If we're like, if it's the middle of NBC today, 10 o'clock in the morning, okay, I can deal with that. Not during the damn game, bro.
So Chauncey Billups had the Clutch Sports Group hoodie on, and that's where it had people was like, something is up, right? Now I'm gonna list off names. I'm gonna list off the names of NBA players.
They did that shit.
I'm gonna list off the names of NBA players that they represent, and I'm pretty sure some of these names you're gonna be like, maybe they got some involvement in it. So all right, Lonzo Ball, Marjon Beauchamp, Eric Bledsoe, Miles Bridges, Troy Bridges, KCP, Jordan Clarkson, Anthony Davis, De'Aaron Fox, Darius Garland, Aaron Gordon, Draymond Green, Jayden Hardy, Montrezl Harrell, Taylor Tucker, LeBron James, Bronny James, Keldon Johnson, Christian Coloco, Zach LaVine, Jalen Leck, Tyrese Maxey, Ben Moore, DeJounte Murray, Kendrick Nunn, Nurkic, Scottie Pippen Jr. Wow, I forgot he's playing in the NBA. Terrence Ross, Colin Sextons, Juan Toscano Anderson, Gary Trent Jr., Jarrett Vanderbilt, Fred VanVleet, Lonnie Walker, and Justin Edwards.
Ain't none of them niggas did that shit.
Okay, all right.
And if they did, if I had my money on anybody, it'll actually be VanVleet.
Yeah.
Just because I want to see that coming. Just because we want to see it coming.
And then on the WNBA side, you got Asia Wilson, Naz Hillman, Jordan Canada, Chelsea Gray, Jewel Lloyd, and Alicia Gray.
God, really? That's it? That's the only people?
Yeah. Well, and then on the NFL side, you got DeAndre Hopkins, Tremaine Ankrum, Christian Bermore, Cameron Bynum, Dez Fitzpatrick, Breece Hall, Kylan Hill, Jalen Hurts, Odell Beckham Jr. Damn, he's still one. Oh, they're formerly current. Myles Garrett, Bijan Robinson, Quincy Roche, Devontae Smith, Montez Sweat, and Chase Young.
Yeah, like I said, none of them did it. Nobody else did. Well, here's the thing: we don't know. But the whole
we don't know. Allegedly.
But to say that all the Clutch Sports is behind that's a leap.
Yeah, I think people were just trying to. I think that's the conspiracy theory in some folks' head regarding all that.
And because I hate saying this, y'all really need to get some help, man. Michael Jordan don't care how you attack LeBron James. He really don't.
Hey, look,
he really don't.
I find it.
Speaking of which, how'd you like seeing that yellow-eyed bastard on motherfucking NBA and all these niggas heart melt because they seen Michael Jordan for the first time in like months? Like, I don't understand how y'all. Well, whatever.
They asked his viewpoints on the NBA coming back to NBC, and Jordan did his usual psychopath stuff. Like, man,
I really want to get back on the court. And I'm like, only a psychopath says some shit like that. It's like,
Oh yeah. That being said, no, roll up.
I gotta admit, man. Yes, NBC on Peacock, but it's NBA on NBC, and it was great.
Man,
That music, it hits. But also,
no, what killed me was before it started. Are y'all doing a storyline? I missed this shit. They're like, oh, they did it correctly. Yes.
we missed this.
Basketball finally came back alive.
Hey, look, I love the fact that the NBA on TNT crew got a new home at ESPN and they're still continuing their shenanigans, and I love it.
ESPN don't deserve it.
They don't deserve it. They really don't.
Don't deserve it.
But you know what? I'm always glad to see Ernie and them get a big check to continue the ball rolling, because
I mean, yeah, I am too.
I don't know how long I could have tolerated Stephen A. Smith doing commentary for ESPN.
Love Michael Wilbon, but he needs to be back on his show.
No.
Being a journalist like he is. Because he's really not. That's the one thing that's so funny. I always keep on thinking like, well, Mike tries to do it when he was doing the ESPN gig. He tried his best doing it. It just don't work to me. You know what I mean? Because he's the only one actually asking questions out of all of them, but it don't fit well, at least in the dynamic.
He's in that journalist mindset. So
yeah. So when I actually see him on Part of the Eruption, it's like,
yeah, it's your wheelhouse. It's your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, something that should have happened. You know our boy, white boy that was winning the dunk contest. The Pacers signed him to a multi-year contract. Good for McClung. Good for McClung.
Yeah. Good for him. Good for him. Now he can just disappear into the
Don't do him like that. Look. Every once in a while, I will cape for a white person. All right. McClung is one of those white people I will cape for, because I'm like, what?
I can't.
Why?
I can't. Because Jason Williams won't let me do that.
Seen white chocolate himself.
I have seen white Jesus in sneakers, and his name was Jason Williams.
Yes. This is a Jason Williams stand podcast. You're right.
I also like here's like this. Like I also really think let me put it this way. The reason why I liked, and we are going to do that show, Chris. What's the name of that jump? Was it called Showtime? That wasn't called Showtime. What was the name of the Lakers show? Winning Time.
Winning Time. I love that show.
Yeah.
That show was great.
Yeah. The one thing I loved about it, and if we don't get to see it no more, is that I know that wasn't how he was, but that's how I saw Larry Bird. Psychopath.
Oh, dude.
Psychopath Larry Bird.
Larry Bird. No, look, I think we both said it. To be and we even said about Kobe. To be the greatest in your sport, you have to be a fucking psychopath.
You got to be a little bit stupid.
You got to be a
little bit this. You got to be.
You got to. Like, we love Kobe. He's a little bit of a psychopath. Like
a little bit. No, Kobe would kill someone if he could.
No, look. You know what solidified it for me? It's that clip that always gets there. Hey, you guys are 2 up and stuff like that. And he's like, it's not done. Job's not done. Only a psychopath. Like any normal person be like, yeah, it feels great. We're up 2-0. No, Kobe just sat there silent like, job ain't done. Instead of celebrate.
I love no. We on it. Kobe. We on it. Sometimes you got to be on it. Like, nah, I know we having fun, but for real, no, the job's not done.
No, job ain't done. Like, fuck no.
Look, I can respect that, man.
Kobe the one dude that's like, oh man, we're up 2-0. Fuck you smiling for?
Nah, that's the shit that killed me. That shit killed me. So I sent y'all that joke. This motherfucker said, "What you think of that?" We look, what could happen? We play like a bunch of sissies. Let me tell you, when a white guy in the 80s says y'all a bunch of sissies, he mean that shit.
Oh, dude, you know what I loved? Moneyball, right? When the Athletics they lost, right? And they're all in the locker room and stuff. And like Brad Pitt rolls in there, fuck you celebrating for? Like, what are we doing here?
The fuck is y'all?
Y'all happy for it? Like y'all lost. You got your ass whooped. What the fuck is it? Like, what are you doing? Like, and I respect that because it's like you can't put the cart before the horse, and it's not done. Like you have to kind of like be in that mental focus because then you might lose the series even though you're up 2-0. You just never know.
They show your boy Larry looking around that locker room, seeing all these niggas laughing and shit.
It's like, no, it's just you have to be a psychopath. So that's why I laugh at like
got no heart up in here.
it's like because first off, somebody was like, why are you asking Michael Jordan what he thinks about the 3-point shot? Like, why Jordan of all people, Jordan? Like, why?
Jordan? Why would you ask him, man?
It's like Jordan was never a 3-point expert. Like you got it's like you got plenty of vet 3-pointers right there.
Did y'all only play with Michael Jordan in NBA Live and your cousin found a way to mess with the ratings and he made all of Jordan's stats 99? Is that how you see Michael Jordan? Because that's how I think people think of Michael Jordan personally. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, is that what you think, nigga? You really think Jordan is that untouchable? Like you can't answer that shit. And also, I feel that was just the wrong place to put him at. Yeah. And I agree with who said that? I forgot who said this shit. If you put him in front of a whiteboard, it might be better.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think it will go. But yeah, I forgot who said that. But yeah, I agree with that. Like, here's the thing. You can't Tom Brady Michael Jordan.
Oh, hell no.
Tom Brady can barely do what Tom Brady's doing right now. But I'll take Tom Brady trying it out. You know what I'm saying? You heard me, man. Like, I don't think he's perfect. I think he's getting better.
Tom Brady is like an actor that is still green, and you got to put a veteran talent near him in order to like help him out. And that's where Tom Brady's at, where it's like he's still a bit green. It's like, put it this way. We love how Romo, when he started commentating, it was like if it just fit him perfectly. He came in it off, just kept going, and it was enjoyable because we know Romo loves the game. And like the way you see him very excited when he's talking about, okay, guys, look at the quarterback. See, here's what he's going to do. And you're engaged like, oh shit, I want to hear this, man. You know, and it's like, what's the other guy for the Fox?
Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen,
like same way. Greg Olsen's like Romo, where he's really like, oh, he's knowledgeable about like, okay, look at this player.
I feel that Tom is too knowledgeable.
Is that such a thing?
I feel when I say too knowledgeable, like he's way too technical. I don't get it. This is his first year. He still don't know what he sounds like. I will say this, if anything, and this actually works in his favor, because I know somebody that ain't charming at all, but everybody loves hearing him. That's Troy Aikman. If he can find a way to get Troy Aikman is a bit of everything. He's going to praise good effort. He is going to tell you how the game works, how timing works, how to set up the play, who's seeing everything wrong. He can tell you football. Like you can hear the 3 rings on his hand glisten as he talks.
Hey, listen.
But we know there's this that we don't know like about Aikman. I think Tom Brady can do that.
Here's the funny thing about Aikman. So prior to starting and stuff, Washington is playing Kansas City, playing the Chiefs. Chiefs are up 7-0, right?
Yeah.
Him and Chris Collinsworth are talking. Aikman, being the cowboy that he is talking cash shit about the Commanders in his Troy Aikman way. Like, yeah, you know, the Commanders, they're doing all right. You know, they got Mariota playing tonight. I was like, bro, the shade.
You said Chris Collinsworth. You throw me off. That's all. I forgot who he with. He ain't with Joe Buck. Yeah, he's with Joe Buck.
Yeah.
He's with Joe Buck.
But him and Collinsworth are doing the commentary tonight, but both like it's the shade from Aikman that makes him entertaining because he knows how to throw shade in a way where it's like
here's the thing. Chris Collinsworth is happy to be there.
You
know what? This guy just messed the whole play right here, right? And then look, he's already looking over there, right? So when you see the play, every time that happens, every time.
Now, here's a guy
you can hear the happiness over here. Troy Aikman is like, I don't know what he was looking at. See, they're set up in a nickel in a way he. Yeah, what the hell?
I don't understand. I don't understand that play.
When Troy is blank, that means you fucked up. When Troy's like, Yeah.
It's like I don't understand that play. I
So
don't. It's like I don't understand who he's throwing to on that play. Like nobody was open. Like
I said, it's so funny. But anyway, let's get into this. Let's get into this football and we wrap it up, man. Real quick on college though. Let me speak for my team real quick. Let me speak for my team. I hope Brian Kelly sees a fucking door as soon as possible. I hope his ass is. Or I hope as soon as we're done with this, I hear that there is a Beverly Hillbilly style truck with his grandma on the back, leaving the state of Louisiana.
I have never seen so many LSU fans that are Harlem shaking about this motherfucker leaving. I was like, because I think that's
leaving yet. Is he going yet?
It sounds like he is leaving, but like. I didn't because that's why I asked you and y'all like what happened and stuff. But you broke it down what it was. But maybe you can basically break it down to folks that don't understand. Because like I said,
this is very simple. Brian Kelly's a curmudgeon that nobody fucking likes. Okay. He wasted Jalen. He wasted Jaden Daniels. He really doesn't give a fuck about none of the culture that goes on down there. Here's the funny thing about it: you got a strong ass defense, an offense that can't connect to none of fucking thing. You're about to waste another batch of good fucking defenders, and you ain't got no big time game to put him in. You rode on the coattails of fucking Oregon, who they had to get rid of because Oregon fucked up. But at least Oregon won a goddamn national championship.
Thank you.
You're really pissing me off that the fact that you got 3 stout ass running backs, but for some fucking reason you can't get this run game to go. How do you got Harlem Berry, who a dude who's going to be a monster, who should be a monster going to NFL? His stock is low right now. I don't think nobody gives a fuck about this kid. Thank God he's a freshman, and that if you leave early enough, the next coach that can come in can probably do something with him. I do not like Brian Kelly. He's just flat out not great. And on top of that, I don't think he likes. There are some people where you can tell, like, did you want to coach here? Did you actually want to coach here? Did you just thought it was going to be LSU? This is a 99 rated team. I'm asleep to get a fucking national championship. Hey Chris, we ain't won the SEC championship since Oregon left, bro. So I want this nigga about it. I want this nigga about a Baton Rouge, y'all. That's all I'm saying, man.
2 things with college football. One, shout out to Howard. They won their homecoming game, beat Morgan State 33-27. Congrats to them. Great times.
Shout outs to the people, whoever the PR people over at Delaware State. Shout out to y'all. No, for real. Because there are people there that I feel like, no, for real. There's been a bunch of white YouTube creators that have been going to Delaware State. They're in love with that place.
They're number 1 in their conference.
Yeah, I know. They're in love with it. There's this swelling that's going over there. And then you know how Working Town Sports Show is ever since we came on. Fuck Delaware State. Y'all still suck at football. But I am glad
somewhere Joe Biden is like, what do you mean fuck me for?
Joe Biden, why? What, got the Hornets all over? Got the red and the blue on? What are you talking about? Come on, it's Hornets football. Let's go. Look, I really see, like, but that's what I'm saying. Shout out to their PR team. Shout out to their alumni. I really mean this because I ran into the alumni and one person that heard our show.
I love it.
They still fuck y'all. But
hey, I love those little moments.
But that being said, real talk. The way they turned that little program around, man, it's nice. Even if this is going to be for a couple years, I'm glad Delaware State is happening. Because here's the funny thing. Yeah. We know this for a fact. Especially with these MEAC colleges, when they win a championship, that batch of that alumni holds on to it for a long time. That's why a lot of early 90s Howard people in this area are fucking annoying. But they won the MEAC that year.
I mean, look. So I bring up the whole thing with college football. To be a Terps football fan these past 3 weeks have been a level of agonizing because
where was the pain, Jameis?
Yeah, just pain. It was pain everywhere. So
you got to understand something. When you're playing in the Big Ten, you can't play with house money.
You got to keep your foot on the neck
that.
of every team that you play. In Maryland, the past 3 games, they have the lead and they fuck it up every time. And like the first time it happened against Washington, all right, yep, lessons learned, right? But then the next 2 games, they fucked up again. And I'm like, what the hell is going on?
What made you think we learned the lesson, man?
I just assumed it was just a one-off thing. Hey, you fucked up.
Because the way who was that motherfucking because the way motherfucking what's the name put hands on when UCLA put hands on us, man.
UCLA pissed me off. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like
we didn't have enough to beat them.
I thought we did.
No, we didn't. They were already on their little momentum high because they won their big game and they beat what's the name? What was it? Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State. That was a big one. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, they literally took out the air out the tires of that whole program.
Now this weekend we got to play Indiana.
Kick the black man out of his job.
I mean, and now we got to play Indiana. I'm like, well, I guess we're gonna be 4-4. So.
Oh, Indiana about to beat the shit out. Yeah, they're gonna beat the shit out of us.
I mean, it's just like you might be right on something about what's his face probably leaving if it keeps going in this trajectory.
I don't think Loxley is going to leave.
You don't think?
I don't think they're going to fire Loxley, but I think he's in trouble. Like if that means like I really think his job. Like I don't think they're going to fire him this year.
I think Malik might go in the transfer portal.
That's the bigger problem. I think if Malik hops in that transfer portal, Loxley's gone.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, they're going to get rid of him.
Like Malik is your face of the Terps right now, and the last thing you want.
He's the only defense you got on that team. He's the only thing you got on that team because your defense ain't nothing. Your wide receivers are just okay.
Yeah, they're fine.
Your offensive line is trash. Your running game is.
Well, see, I don't want to say trash because it's not like Malik is running for his life.
That's what I'm saying. He ain't running for his life, but that line ain't doing him no.
It's not holding down.
No. Let's keep it real. I'm gonna keep it to Big Ten status.
Okay.
Yes, you got a Big Ten quarterback. You don't got a Big Ten running game. You don't got a Big Ten offensive line. You barely got a Big Ten wide receiving core. Your defense on a good day can stop a Mountain West team. You ain't stopping nobody in the Big Ten with that type of defense. The thing about Big Ten
is that you have to score a lot of points to offset what your defense is gonna give up. And if you're not doing that, then you're SOL. And that's basically what happened these past 3 games. It's just
Maryland. If I could say this is my and this is knowing that Maryland went to a couple of bowl games in these last 10, 15, almost close to 15 years they've been in the Big Ten. I could say this with clearly knowing. I find it hilarious that everybody except the football teams is playing like they're in the Big Ten, and the football team is still playing like they're in the ACC.
Yeah, and isn't
it funny? They still play ACC football.
But it's weird because it's like I can see the improvement of them being in the Big Ten, but like you said, it's still
Big Ten. The Big Ten is a different beast, man.
So
it's a jump in difficulty, young. That's what it really
like.
Is.
Of course, you're getting the Big Ten players, but like you said, it's that ACC attitude that's still because the basketball team.
That's the way of saying it, yeah. That's the best way I can describe it.
Because both men and women basketball teams are playing like they're in the Big Ten, like they're
playing like they can fight for the conference.
Soccer team, same thing. Soccer team, baseball, same thing.
Lacrosse team. The lacrosse team is always best in the country anyway, so it's like, no, we belong here.
Yeah.
How does the football team still feel like y'all playing Wake Forest or fucking? You see what I'm saying? It feels like y'all about to play Duke next week, yeah. Y'all not about to play. If you tell me this team is about to play Michigan State tomorrow, I'll be like, huh? How? When?
Yeah, right.
Like every year. Now, can they beat big teams? When have we beat anybody big that was ranked? We got lucky a couple years ago when we beat Penn State. This team doesn't it really feels like they're just slower than everybody. The only team we can really rumble with is Rutgers. Rutgers is the only team we can mess with. We have trouble with Northwestern, yeah. So how in the hell are we trying to fight with anybody else, yeah?
Now here's the thing: we're talking about college. I'm just laughing that amidst all this,
Colorado footballs in disarray.
Boy, Dion is in
Now,
trouble.
Colorado ain't in disarray compared to, say, North Carolina Tar Heels, because that's a different can of worms there.
I think that's a different kind of worms.
But
That's a whole different
Colorado,
because all the stuff coming out with Mike Lombardi and all that rest of that shit. I meant to get the whole story on that. I'm not.
We'll do that next week.
We'll do that next week.
But I would say Colorado, and I knew this was going to happen. As soon as Shedeur and everybody left, I knew Colorado was going to be basically back to square one. I knew that they were going to turn back into a pumpkin. They were going to be. They were going to have to build it up and everything.
They were going to have to rebuild it. Now, here's the funny thing: even though I said the SEC, we say the SEC and the Big Ten or they're the Big Two. The Big 12 ain't nothing to fuck around with anyway.
Oh hell no.
With two, so
yeah, no.
They had a tough time going into that. Chris, either Dion has had 2 bad recruiting classes in a row and nobody has noticed, or Dion ain't that good of a coach. And I like to believe that his recruiting class the last 2 years has been garbage.
I feel his recruiting.
I feel that a bunch of the good players hopped in that transfer portal the second you showed up.
No, you know what? Here's why I think it happened. I think he had a lot of recruits because of him being Dion and the Shedeur stuff, right? And I think once Shedeur and Travis Hunter left, I think it was 2 things. You had some players that stuck around because they loved Dion and that culture. And you probably had some players that saw the writing on the wall and was like, yeah, I'm getting the fuck up out of here.
We getting cooked.
We're going to get cooked now.
Second year Shedeur. Second year dealing with Shedeur. That's when I kind of knew, like, yeah, a bunch of y'all ain't going to show up next year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I think that's what it is. And now it's just a case of fuck. Like I think they're 2-5 now or something like that.
Yeah.
2-5.
And look, when I say Utah beat the shit out of them,
they beat the dog shit out of them.
Dion has lost all control of the car.
Oh yeah, I mean it's there's a lot.
I don't know what to tell you. In the words of Flavor Flav, I ain't got nothing for you, man.
Look, man, it's a lot of question marks here, and
like there's a
part of me wants to know how long is he going to stick around in Colorado before he says fucking I'm out.
That's a good question. How long before Colorado says that shit? I don't know. I really don't know what Colorado's, where they at in any position when it comes to that. But still, this is about to be 2 seasons in a row, bro.
Now I'm gonna hold off on NFL stuff till next week because we'll definitely do a big breakdown on it. But I'll say one thing that caught my eye this week. So the Jets won their first game of the season, and Justin Fields in a press conference. Whatever you feel about Justin Fields is whatever you feel, but it's kind of like every once in a while you'll get in sports, you'll get a player that basically just puts their emotions out there, however they're feeling. Justin Fields basically put it out there at the conference just on the fact of he even admitted he doesn't have social media, but like there's a measure in his head of how he's been playing in the NFL. It's really, and I'm paraphrasing it, you could tell it kind of fucked with his head a little bit in terms of the way people probably have talked about him and his play. And it has fucked with his head because he was like, yo, I was in the closet and I was like crying. Like, cause and I get that because you got to understand, like Justin Fields was like, everybody touted him as the guy and it's just shit just hasn't been working out for him. So I have to imagine they win this game. It's a very emotional thing for him because it's like, oh my God, like, holy shit, we fucking won. And now it's like, all right, is he like, where does he sit at? And that's on top of the fact that the Jets fucking management has been talking cash shit about him. And I'm like, damn, that has to really fuck with your head.
So
the ownership talking about you.
So 2 things can be right at the same time. He has every right to feel the way he feels.
Yeah,
you do. You went from Ohio State to Chicago to Pittsburgh to New York, And all four of those stops, all four of those media stops probably busted your head.
Yeah.
I'm not even counting when you played for Georgia. I'm not even gonna count that.
Oh, no.
But like I said, just Ohio State, Chicago Bears, Pittsburgh Steelers, now the Jets. The media outlets fucked your ass up. So I understand that.
Yeah.
He has every right to feel the way he feels. So yeah, I get it. Number 2, though, you still sorry as shit, Justin. I'm gonna keep it real. Let's keep it a buck, Justin.
Yeah.
Because, and this is a dude that rolled. I really thought you were about to be the man in Pittsburgh.
I really did think too. Because he did decent in Pittsburgh, and I was like, maybe he got a second win.
I still kind of root for you. I really do.
Yeah.
But you're not him. It's unfortunate, and it really sucks the way you had to find out this way that it ain't you. It was never you. Yeah. And I hope that's what he was crying about, where he realized, dog, it wasn't you. What happened in Pittsburgh was not his fault. What happened in Chicago was Chicago doing what Chicago does best, wasting talent with a quarterback. Okay? What happened to you in those stops wasn't your fault, bro. And even here in New York, you play for the Jets. You play for the Jets.
Like playing for the Mets.
Do you know who the top 2 quarterbacks are? Joe Namath and Vinny Testaverde. Do you know how low the bar is right here? I don't know. Look, I'll be real.
Mark Sanchez?
Oh, no. Mark Sanchez is on that list. Chad Pennington.
Oh, man.
Fun fact about Chad Pennington. Do you know that he is actually statistically the best quarterback that the Miami Dolphins had post Dan Marino? D is not lying. The best statistical quarterback for the Miami Dolphins since the retirement of Dan Marino is Chad Pennington.
D.
Miami Dolphins fans, look at me. I want you to know that before you come out your mouth to a Cowboys fan, okay? I want you to hear yourself that meant sorry-ass Tony Romo in his sleep did better than all of your quarterbacks since Dan flipping the isotoners don't fit Marino.
See, I want people to understand this. The Dallas Cowboys had Chad Pennington and Testaverde too, by the way.
We had Chad Pennington.
I thought we did. I thought we briefly had him.
We had Chad Henson.
My bad. I thought we had Pennington. My bad.
Yeah, I wish we had Pennington. Shit. We would have rocked them those 4.5 games before we would have sat them down.
Look, people don't understand. The line before we had Romo, we were rotating a lot of like quarterbacks that were like past their prime that were just collecting the check from Jerry.
I like how one of our most likable backups when we had Tony Romo was John Kitna. John Kitna threw at everybody that wasn't a Dallas Cowboy, and we sucked his dick the entire time he played for Dallas. I remember John Kitna came in there one time, threw two interceptions, but threw the game-winning touchdown, and we were like, if we had niggas come out their mouth, shit, he better than Romo.
Man, see, that's how much copium that the Cowboys fan base has, where it's like, I mean, he better than Romo, though. I'm like, get the fuck out of my face. I know we won, but goddamn, bro.
John Kitna threw directly at 2 Eagles. Just plop, plop.
But he beat Donovan McNabb, though, so, hey, he the GOAT.
But he won. But we won that game. Granted, I'm pretty sure the defense had everything to do with it, but still.
Broken neck and all, we still beat him.
Oh, my God, yeah, that's so funny. But, yeah, I find it hilarious. I find it so fucking hilarious. Wait a minute, where we at? I was at Chad Pennington. Yeah, but it wasn't his fault, yeah. When you look at the Jets, first off, the Jets, in D's opinion, had no godly right by staying in the game as long as they did, yo.
This NFL season is what I like to call so wacky because
somebody with the Buffalo Wild Wings button put it in cocaine. That's what the only thing I can say.
We are 8 games into the NFL season, and we've had some wacky games where teams should have won
And somehow the miracle on ice has happened the past 3 weeks with certain teams, and you're like, the fuck is going on?
I'm just mad Ravens
The Jets that have dead to rights lost the game and they somehow won. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
I like, you know what, the one thing I like I said, we get into it next week, but I do love how the Panthers was rolling. They had every right to feel like they're rolling. And Bryce wasn't on that field, and Andy Dalton showed everybody why he's been a bench player for the last 5 seasons. Wow.
Look,
They beat the Bills beat their.
Also, I'm saying this. Hey, there's a reason why the Steelers don't wear that fucking uniform anymore. Because that shit,
the Bumblebee Junks.
That shit is, man. How the hell are you wearing a uniform back in the time where people wore leather helmets and they got their heads scrambled and shit?
That's when the gridiron was the gridiron.
I never liked that shit. That uniform,
old white man shit. That
it really is, and it doesn't help that you got fucking Throw Rogan wearing that shit. And I'm like, that's some peak old white man shit right there.
Come on, man. That's when football was good with cigars and we could punch women in the face. You know, come on, that was fun. Macho shit.
I drank whiskey in the locker room before I got on the field.
They had a big fat cigar before running laps.
I'll be honest with you, man. How the fuck were people not passing out, smoking a cigar, and then running?
Ask Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was taking shots of Hennessy before every game, probably, man.
Hennessy is a black thing, so I let that rock. But like, you choking, you smoke a cigar like a chimney before the game. I question your lung capacity. Like how
that shows you how top tier of an athlete Michael Jordan was. Christ. All right.
The fact that the flu game was basically he got food poisoning is hilarious to me, honestly.
Oh Lord. Okay. So
but yeah. That this was fun talking about gambling and. Yeah, kids. 3BG sponsored by DraftKings.
I will say this: there is one time I didn't do it, but and I really thought about it. I forgot what year it was when they actually premiered. I think it was FanDuel when they had it on WWE for the first time. And me and the wife were seriously sitting there trying to figure out should we do it. And I just said, let's do some fake prop betting tonight. And we were right with most of them, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Should we do this next pay-per-view? And we thought about it. Then the next pay-per-view came and we decided no. The reason why was just very simple. We don't like gambling. But more so, this is a trap. Because, and I only say this because most wrestling fans, we either play dumb about what's going to happen next, or we kind of know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot of the shit that I'm pretty sure they will have prop bets for, it's going to be rigid.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's going to intend that everybody loses. So I can just see that being as a whole. And I hope they're still not doing wrestling bets on that job.
Man, you doing FanDuel shit for fucking wrestling. I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
I think they need to talk to somebody about that. The only thing I have to add is that when it comes to F1, it's getting tight again. Oh. It's a race again. We in the last 5 races, and it's going to be actually interesting. So yeah. The top 3 is actually fighting for number 1. So we're about to find out. Anyway, that's it.
But anyways, let's work into our sports show this week. We will catch you guys later. Peace.
I hope Chauncey Billups make it.